now,
wait.
just a mad scramble to get
Yeah.
everything set up.
Cannot wait.
At Trek Politics on all your favorite social media platforms.
Nice.
Fantastic. So Bob, I don't even know where to start this morning. Baby is extra screechy. He's written a letter to the Justice Department, which I think that generally works, right? To just when you ask someone to stop prosecuting you.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah.
That seems
I
solid.
love this story so much. I've been pumping this into my veins for the last 12 hours or so, because they just step right into their own propeller every single time. This is another situation where they're just telegraphing what's coming next.
Yes.
They're telegraphing Donald Trump's panic, because obviously he wrote this thing. I mean, it's like the Dr. Bornstein letter where he said that, oh, I'm 198 pounds and I'm 7'8". That's my
and the healthiest president in the history of ever. I will be the healthiest president that's ever presidented. Yeah,
I've got 3% body fat. It's amazing. But no, this letter is great because it shows that they're in serious trouble. They found out something this week that they didn't want to hear. And I think it has something to do with maybe old-timey baseball player and former Trump attorney Ty Cobb.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe saying something. I thought that Ty Cobb was saying, oh, yes, he's definitely going to get indicted for the documents thing.
Oh, he didn't just say indicted. He said prison. He said,
prison.
I believe he's going to prison for this.
Yeah. Correct. I'm full of corrections this week. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Prison. Exactly. So that's why that's why he's panicking.
Yeah. I mean, he's panicking over that, over Ron DeSantis, or Rob, as he calls him, declaring today.
Yeah.
I mean, you said the Republican holy war against woke corporations like Disney continues. A website called The Daily Signal published an article this week about a leaked employee handbook from an extremely woke corporation with its pro-trans, pro-LGBT policies. That'd be Fox News, right? I mean,
Fox News, yes.
Yeah, but I mean,
Fox News.
Go ahead. No, but go ahead. What a time for DeSantis to declare when this is the most anti-business move we've ever seen. Blew up $1 billion investment in his state from Disney, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is the Republican holy war right now against anyone who is trans and anyone who supports trans people, anyone who supports the LGBTQ community. And in this case, obviously, we've seen with Ron DeSantis and the broader Red Hat Entertainment Complex going after Disney. But then we find out through this far-right website, and by the way, there is an internal civil war going on among Republicans regarding Fox News Channel. They already think that Fox News Channel is woke. And then this story dropped on this crazy website, the Daily Signal, where they got a leaked copy of the Fox News Channel employee handbook, where there's all this amazing woke inclusiveness outlined in it, all of these LGBTQ terms.
That is shocking, Bob. Has that ever happened before, that everything that Fox does on air has proved to be completely BS and everything that they say privately is the opposite?
Yes, it has. It has, Stephanie Miller, because I seem to recall like every single Fox News employee getting vaccinated and submitting to mask mandates during
and texting
the
that they hate
pandemic
Donald
and so
Trump and that the election denying is BS and blah blah blah. I know.
Oh yeah, exactly. Saying something different publicly versus what they're saying privately. That's another one of these cases where it's one of the most woke things I think I've ever read in my life, and it's Fox News Channel. I had to keep going back to the lead of the story and going, are we sure this is Fox News Channel and that's not just a typo? Oh my God, it is the Fox News Channel employee handbook. I think I said the phrase, the Fox News employee handbook, maybe 3 dozen times on my podcast yesterday, because I was just so confounded.
And we were
this is the case.
And we were saying Elon Musk, of course, is hosting him on Twitter because he's too awkward. They're both too awkward humans to do anything with people. I mean, right.
And not even on normal Twitter. It's on Twitter Spaces, which I have no idea how to get to.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I don't know where that is. Yeah.
Vote Vets tweeted that you retweeted, Bob. There's currently a fake AI picture of an explosion at the Pentagon. There's word it may have impacted Wall Street. This goes to show the dangers of disinformation, how it can be a potential harm to national security. And you said the fake account had the advantage of significantly higher reach and engagement because of Elon's Twitter Blue thing. But I apparently shouldn't have spent so much time here and on my podcast warning about what kind of damage monkeying with blue checks would do.
Well, this is exactly what I was concerned about, is that it would be exploited to increase the volume of disinformation on Twitter, which there was already a problem. As soon as Elon took over and began to re-platform all the people that had been banned previously from the platform, that started the ball rolling. And then there were a couple of news stories that came out about how Russian troll farms are buying up Twitter blue accounts, not because they love the blue check next to their name and think that that's a cool thing to have. It's because of the reach they get. It's because of the increased engagement they get. And that's built in. That's a selling point for Twitter blue, is that if you buy that subscription, your tweets are seen more often and by more people than someone who doesn't have a Twitter blue subscription. So that's the loophole that all of these trolls and disinformers are going to be exploiting. And that was certainly the case with this particular story.
And let me just say, Lindy Lee tweeted, Trump lawyers are demanding to meet with Merrick Garland. He and his Russians threaten DA Alvin Bragg's life. His Georgia Republicans try to remove DA Fani Willis. House Republicans try to defund Jack Smith and the FBI. But sure, this is how a really innocent guy would act. But my point is about the Russian disinformation. We have Representative Schiff coming on in a few minutes. What's that lunatic from? What's her name?
Representative Paulina Luna.
Yes, Representative Luna, short for lunatic, from Florida, is trying to get him expelled from Congress over the Durham report.
And a $16 million fine.
Right. But when clearly, I don't even. It's like we're taking crazy pills. Right? That the Senate, Republican Senate intelligence report also said there was Russian interference in the election. And I just wanted to say thank you for doing my show prep for me for Adam Schiff, because I was going to bring this up. You retweeted Morning Joe, Russia's latest sanctions on U.S. officials turned to Trump enemies, and you just wrote no collusion. Isn't that the latest example of Russia? All of these people they sanction, they have nothing in common except that they're Trump critics. Right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's
like what does Vladimir Putin have against Brad Raffensperger? I wonder what that might be.
Right.
Or Seth Meyers. Like Vladimir Putin's sitting in his whatever.
They have nothing to do with Russia. There's no reason they'd be on a Russia sanctions list except. I mean, it's just everything Adam Schiff said is correct. It's just
exactly right. This is one of the biggest pieces of disinformation that's come out of the Republican Party for a long, long time, which is the false analysis of what the Durham report is all about. We know for a fact that there were at least 24, maybe more meetings between Trump operatives and Russians. I mean, we could do this list all day. The
Mueller report proved there was massive collusion. They just couldn't, because of the obstruction, they couldn't prove it to the legal limit, level of criminal conspiracy, period.
Exactly right. And again, all you have to do is look at the Republican-led Senate Intelligence Committee investigation of this very same thing. In fact, Richard Burr, at one point, during a press conference, let it spill that they had been able to verify some parts of the Steele dossier. So it wasn't all fiction.
That's what I
Obviously,
said.
this is raw intelligence that some of it should be taken seriously. Maybe some of it was deliberate disinformation, but
the Mueller, the FBI investigation and the Mueller, that had nothing to do with the Steele dossier. It was not. The investigation was not launched. Had nothing to do with the Steele dossier. I mean, anyway.
I mean, the top line problem that Durham found in the FBI investigation of Trump Russia was that the FBI didn't launch a preliminary investigation before launching a full investigation. And the necessity for a preliminary investigation is something that's highly debatable within the FBI. Some people think, oh, yes, you should do it. Other officials say, well, no, we don't need to do it. So that's one of those things that there's no illegality here. There's no disproving the Trump-Russia entire story. This is just a matter of the patina of wrongdoing, which we've said 1,000 times. All Donald Trump and the Republicans need to raise a big stink is just the appearance of maybe kind of sort of an investigation. I mean, I
said it yesterday. Ukraine and also election denial. He said it twice, basically. Just say there's something wrong. My GOP, guys in Congress will take care of the rest, right?
Yeah, I think Donald Trump is on record saying to Zelensky, you just start an announce an investigation into Burisma. I'll take care of the rest. That says everything you need to know about how Donald Trump and his henchmen actually operate. They don't need the actual thing. All they need is the appearance of the thing to say that there's a thing. And then they jump from there and turn it into blow it out of proportion.
Yeah, this ongoing James Comer, Jim Jordan clown show is evidence of that. They never have anything. It's always just... Anyway.
It's for show. It's just this endless Ouroboros of the Republican Party feeding the Red Hat Entertainment Complex, which feeds the Republican Party, and back around. It's this human centipede of disinformation and BS is what we're getting.
Yeah,
it's not a regular human centipede. It's a human centipede that forms a full circle.
Yes.
It reminds
which is
me,
like a superhuman centipede.
Yes, like when Dick Cheney leaked the false WMD stuff to the New York Times and then cited the New York Times as
Yes, exactly.
And Carrie Lake is a part of this too.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah. So
we love to do it.
we were just talking about E.G. and Carroll too. You just said E.G. and Carroll seeks new damages from Trump for comments on CNN, and you just said ha ha ha.gif. And I was saying at this point it's like a parent at Chuck E. Cheese. It's just like, don't do it again. Okay, now it's 10 million. Okay, you want more? It's like, I don't know. Go ahead.
It's so seldom that I backpedal like this, but I'm seriously beginning to rethink my take on the CNN town hall. Given this news, I think, hey, you know what, CNN?
I'm sure Jack Smith is using it. Are
Well
you
done.
kidding? He's picked some of those statements right out of there, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this is the whole basis for E. Jean Carroll going to the judge and saying, hey, can we maybe re-examine this or amend the judgment here?
Yeah.
And once again, it would not have happened if CNN had not held that town hall. And of course, Donald Trump always makes things worse for Donald Trump. So he gets onto television and starts blabbing about all these things, thinking, it's going to make me look very strong. I'm going to look so strong doing this. But of course, he doesn't look strong. He looks like an effing moron because he's opening himself up to more liability. Congratulations, Donald Trump. You look so strong.
How many times
manly.
How many times have we cited the Bob Cesca rule this week? I've said it many times.
11 billion.
Always
20.
happens.
Trump always makes things worse for Trump. Yes.
Never fails.
By the way, you retweeted Byron Donalds. Ugh, so annoying on Meet the Press. Fact, America and the world were much safer under President Trump than under Joe Biden. And you said Trump's incompetence was directly responsible for hundreds of thousands of American COVID deaths during his final year in office. That's the opposite of safer. There's a piece in the LA Times about this. I mean, I know there's so much other criming, but Glenn Kirshner's always said there could absolutely be a what do you call it? Homicide, case against him for the unnecessary deaths. But
and also I think this is a signal to the rest of us that obviously there's a significant portion of the American population with a very, very short-term memory who don't remember things that happened, say 3 years ago, when there were where there were bodies being stacked up inside refrigerated trucks behind a morgue because they couldn't fit all the bodies in the morgue. Yeah. And this is something that Donald Trump was directly responsible for. We have him on record talking about how he didn't want to respond to this thing in spite of privately. Once again, there's another great example of public versus private when it comes to these people. Privately acknowledging how serious it was, but you know what? We're going to downplay this thing. And that led to, in numerous studies, hundreds of thousands of deaths that were directly attributable to Donald Trump's lack of action early in the pandemic, where he should have started to lock things down much sooner than he did, but he refused to do it because Donald Trump's mind was on one thing: the re-election campaign that he was in the middle of and running up to November and making sure that wasn't interfered with. And the great, awful irony is all those people died because Donald Trump was incompetent in his response, and Donald Trump lost the election anyway.
Yep.
How about that for a gamble? That's a sociopath right there. A guy who's willing to gamble hundreds of thousands of lives on a re-election campaign that he ended up losing anyway. And by the way, losing badly.
Speaking of lives, Bob, let's end with, did you know that Brawndo is what plants crave?
Yes, because it's got electrolytes.
Yes. Bob and I both love Idiocracy, and Amanda Gorman has the tweet of the day, and it couldn't be more perfect having Fred Gutenberg here live in studio this morning, Bob. She said, one parent could get my poetry banned from classrooms, and yet one country can't ban assault weapons from massacring them. I mean, that's where we are, and that's what I think this election's going to be about.
Yeah. It's about that. It's about the future of democracy. It's about the fact that we've got an American Vladimir Putin in the waiting, ready to step into the White House once again and never leave. I want to emphasize this enough. This is the the stakes of this coming up election. If Donald Trump ends up becoming president again, he will not leave office. I can't underscore that enough.
We just played Hillary Clinton.
He will not go.
Said the exact same thing. Adam Schiff, who joins us in a few minutes, said, end of democracy, period.
Yes.
It will be the end of
100%.
it. Anyway. Love you, Bob Cesca, you great big nerd. I'll talk Star Trek to Adam Schiff for you.
Yeah, hashtag Star Trek Legacy.
All right, love you. 51.
Okay, bye-bye. Love you too.
51 minutes after the hour. This portion of the show brought to you by Dr. Maudie's Nature's Blend. Representative Clyburn, continue.
Don't Democrats risk that if you nominate Joe Biden, with all the concerns, particularly about his age and his competence over the next 6 years, that the country has, there's a real chance that the country ends up with President Trump again?
I don't think so, not in the least.